Welcome to the video. In this video, I'm going to explain how I have built a Telegram chatbot using currency converter API and integrate Firestore database into it. First, we need to install all of these required npm packages and import them using require function. And this initialize app block it helps to initialize firebase database. Next, we should keep our chatbot token in a variable in order for the bot to work. And in the next line, we have to create a new bot instance, set polling to true. When we set polling to true, this enables the bot to receive updates continuously. In the next line, bot.on is used to handle incoming messages and trigger a callback function. And when we give input, then this line of code splits the input into an array using a dot split function and store them inside a variable. I have given three conditions like add, get, and history for the chatbot to work. And let us see how add works. This code, this block of code checks if the first word of the message text is add or not, and if it is add, and if the message has at least two words, then executes the code in its block. Next, Axios is used to fetch currency data from API, and if it is successful, dot then is executed. This line of code is provided by the in the documentation of the Abstract API website. When dot then is executed, the base and target currency values are stored in key value pairs along with the user ID. And in through this line in db.collection.add method, these base currency and target currency values are added to the collection of exchange rates. And if it is successful, the bot sends the message that the currency value is added successfully. And if there is an error in processing the statement, then bot sends a message that error saving the exchange rate data. Please try again later. Next, let's look at how the bot responds when we execute this type of statement. This is my Telegram chatbot. Let me start it. When I click start, it introduces itself and provides instructions how to work with this bot. When we use the word add and with space and then a three-letter currency representation of a country, we can add the information to the database by getting the value from API. Test this out. I'm giving add, then space, then USD. It shows that 1 USD equals to 82 INR added successfully. And let us check if this data is added to the Firestore database. Yes, it is added along with the name and user of the chat. Next, let us look at the else if statement. This get statement is also similar to the add statement. This block checks if the first word of the message.text is get or not, and if the message has at least two words, then executes the code inside this block. The target currency is stored inside a variable. Then we use dot where method to check if the specified currency field exists in the exchange rate collection, and it is not empty. If the data is found, dot get is returns result as a query snapshot which has documents that match the query. In this checks if there are documents that has the query, and it access the document through dot data method and returns the result as JS object. Then inner value of the target currency is stored, and also the bot sends the message of the currency value. And if there is no data regarding the currency, the bot sends the message currency data for particular currency is not found. Let us check if this works. I'm using get USD. It present it is showing the value of USD dollars in terms of INR rupees. And type get if I type get JPY, it says currency data for JPY is not found, and we can check this in database. We only have USD and no other currency values. So this is true. So let me add some more currency values. JPY is added and rupee. We can get this JPY and RUB values like from this documentation. This shows the currency representation, three-letter currency representation. And I also want to add European currency. All these values are added inside the collection of exchange rates. And next, let us move on to the history block. This condition states that if I give history as a key input to the chatbot, it returns all the queries made by the user. Let me check if that works. Yes, shows all the data regarding the currency values that I have stored previously. I have stored 4 currency values. It shows the 4 currency values here. Let me explain the history block. It is also similar to the get condition. The only difference is that this dot where method adds a filter to the query. It looks for the documents where the field named user is equal to the chat ID of the user. The purpose of this filter is to retrieve all the currency data for the specific user. And dot get executes the query and retrieves the result as query snapshot, which contains the documents that match the query. And if the documents that match the query are not zero or not empty, and for query snapshot dot for each function, this loop iterates through each document in the query snapshot, and each document represents a record of the currency exchange rate data for the user. And this data is retrieves the data of the current document as a JavaScript object. And this condition ensures that we skip the properties user and name since they are not in the currency data. Like it skips the name and user properties and only returns the currency value properties. In this line, the INR value of all target currency is stored, and this bot.send message sends all the currency values that are present in the data, which are added by the specific user. This is just the condition for the start message. Thank you.